You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you another Let's Play episode of Supernova, and as you can see, this is the wonderfully detailed title screen, and it moves around with the mouse. I love it. Very detailed. Ooh, person right here. I know this is the main character. My guess is that he's a superhero, so I don't see Templar anywhere. Mysterious figure in the back, like Lady Adam, I don't know. That's pretty cool. But yeah, guys, so last place we left off, we had just helped Templar fight Green Wolf, or whatever he was called. And, well, Templar is on the ropes. He's a little bit beaten down. We're going to see just where that goes, and if our character can do anything to help. But anyway, guys, sit back and enjoy. Oh, excuse me, let's jump right back into it. Alright. Alarm Chan, there you go. Okay. The armor around his torso is in shambles. The parts that are somehow still linger on him full of deep dents, and I can see a sickening amount of blood. He pulls off the ruined helmet at my approach. To my surprise, Templar turns out to be a middle-aged badger. A badger with blood streaming down the side of his face and from his muzzle. I can't even see his left eye under the flow of crimson. I stand there in shock, not quite comprehending that I could be seeing a superhero in this condition. That was... His voice is raspy, pained, even though he somehow manages to an actual smile. Incredibly stupid, kid. I look around, frantic, trying to decide what to do. My friend was here. Fuck, it's so hard to force the words out. An ambulance must be coming. I can feel my phone in the pocket. If it's still intact, I can make the call myself. No, I think that's it for me. Oh, it's a Templar, okay. No, I think that's it for me. I blink at him. What? As if in response, he coughs up yet more blood, then chuckles. Your name, kid? Nick, sir. You're very brave, Nick. I need you to do me a favor. Anything, sir. He nods, a strange expression on his face. Sorrowful? Apologetic? He reached out with his paw, and I grab it, but before I can try to assist him up, he tightens his grip on me. Promise to use it well. I blink again, unsure of what he's saying. He maintains his grip, his intense eyes boring into mine until I nod. The badger lets out a relieved sigh, his paw going slack, and that's when I feel a sudden burning in my wrist. I cry out. Oh, man. Oh, God, Templar's dead. Ah! But he transferred his power. So that's how he becomes a superhero, huh? Interesting. And now begins Nick's rise. I'm on the floor, darkness creeping into the edges of my vision. Templar is looking down at me with that same odd expression. Where's his armor? Ah, sorry, kid. The last thing I see before I pass out is the superhero topple to the floor next to me. Then it's just darkness. The grim darkness of the 41st millennium. There is only war. Oh, what do we got? I am slow to wake up. There's a dull pain in my chest and back. My eyes flutter open and I find myself in some kind of hospital room. It's very small, cramped even. There's nobody around and there are no windows. The medical bed I'm on is uncomfortable, but I wince in pain when I try to shift my weight. A synthetic-sounding voice startles me and I almost fall off the bed. Good evening, Mr. Saunders. I look around to identify the source of the voice, but nobody's there with me and I can find no other source. It seems to be coming from somewhere above me instead. Hello? What's happening? I hear a slight humming noise before the voice speaks again. You are in a safe location. You were picked up by Superfang. My mind races as I recall the events prior to me losing consciousness. Lucas's shoot at the construction yard, us chilling on the building, the crash, the fight. Templar. Did Templar make it? The hum again. I am not at liberty to elucidate. What about Lucas Rodriguez, the culpio that was at the place? No civilian casualties reported. I take even breaths to try and slow my heartbeat, then search my surroundings as I run my paws through my head fur. No sign of my phone or my wallet, or my clothes for that matter. I'm wearing some kind of hospital gown. Are you my doctor? I am not a medical professional. I am Gil, a virtual assistant. It is, however, my assignment to ensure your care at the moment. Where am I? I am not at liberty to elucidate. There's one door leading out of the room. While I suspect that I'm supposed to wait, I still decide to get up to stretch my legs. Gil doesn't object. I'm not in as much pain as I thought, although my body is very sore. How long have I been here? You have been unconscious for 37 hours and 8 minutes since you were first brought here. It has been 7 minutes since your awakening. I'm a little unnerved by the presence of a computerized assistant, who I can only hear. Anything wrong with me? Multiple contusions, minor blood loss, fracture of the scapula. None of these conditions are life-threatening. I sigh, somewhat relieved, and make the mistake of rolling my shoulders. The piercing pain in my left side announces the presence of the fracture Gil just mentioned. I take a moment to recover and walk toward the door. There's no handle. Please refrain from attempting to access the rest of the facility. The team has been alerted to your awakening. I nod and step away, contemplating the implications. Gil said Superfang picked me up from the condo. Templar's teammate. I hope that means I came in time to save Templar. It looks like I'm about to meet the rest of the Sentinels. As if on cue, someone steps through the wall right next to me. Literally through the wall. Oh, fuck! I stumble back, gasping. I recognize Unbound, of course. Oh, Unbound, okay. The bear is wearing her signature white and purple costume, face hidden behind a mask, her eyes brown and muzzle visible. Her form is oddly blurry as she steps through. But it takes on a more solid appearance almost instantly. My apologies, I didn't mean to startle. She doesn't sound at all apologetic, but I nod, my mouth dry. I'm standing in front of another superhero. I swallow, but before I say anything, she angles her muzzle up toward the ceiling. Gil, inform the others to gather in the meeting room as soon as possible. Baron in Black, Nemesis? Nessus? I don't know. Baron in Black, Nemesis, and Superfang have been alerted. Thank you. Unbound turns to me. Come. She exits the room through the wall, and for a moment I'm left there to gape. There's a click at the door and it slides to the side, opening the way. Ooh. I find myself in a dimly lit hallway, which looks nothing like what I have seen in any hospital. Am I in the Sentinel's secret base? The nerd part of me wants to dance in excitement, but this isn't the time. Not when I have no idea what's going on. Even if a superhero rescued me from that condo, I would expect to be dumped at the nearest hospital. So what am I doing here? Unbound strides ahead of me, and I hurry to catch up. Is Templar okay? He was in pretty bad shape. The superhero stops and gives me a long, searching look that makes me rather uneasy. Templar passed away before any of us were able to get there. Oh. My heart sinks into my stomach. Was I a witness to the death of one of the greatest superheroes of Nova City, if not the entire country? This feels unreal. Come. Dozens of questions are on my tongue, but Unbound seems impatient to talk. We walk through a door that slides open at our approach and cross a short catwalk into another hallway. I suspect Unbound could be taking shortcuts with her superpower, but she's not. For my benefit, I assume. Normally I'd be trying to get glimpses of as much of this place as I can, but the news of Templar's death has me too distracted. So it takes me by surprise when we step into a bright circular room with an upraised platform in the middle. There's a thick round table standing there. In the middle, a holographic projection floats above it, displaying some data I have no frame of reference to understand. The walls of the room are littered with large monitors displaying dozens of images and video feeds. 5 seats are arranged around the central table, but only one of them is occupied at the moment, by Nemesis. The hood he normally uses to conceal his face is down. A domino mask covers the fox's eyes. He's holding a Rubik's Cube, which disappears promptly into the folds of his outfit at our approach. Ah, okay, cool. Nice outfit. Looks like the hood, the arrow or the hood. His whiskers twitch and he leaps up from his seat. Nick? Good to meet you. I'm somewhat taken aback by his friendly tone, a sharp contrast to Unbound, who has been deadly serious so far. Nemesis shakes my hand, smiling, then puts a paw on my back and nudges me toward one of the empty seats. Good to meet you too, Nemesis. This is very awkward. I take a seat anyway, and fidgeting nervously. Unbound is just standing there, looking at the wall display. I hope you don't mind that we looked at your driver's license. I had to know who we were dealing with. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But, why am I here? Nemesis tilts his head to the side, then points at my right hand. Huh? I just now noticed that there's a coppery red band around my wrist. At first I think it's plastic, but when I touch it, I realize it's in fact metal. It's just incredibly snug and feels almost weightless. If I wasn't looking at it, I wouldn't know it was there at all. The surface is very smooth, even though there are some images engraved onto it. I give Menesis a confused look. What's this? Well, you know, the source of Templar's powers. He frowns at my dumbfounded look. I think it means you're his successor. Who the hell he is? I swivel my chair in the direction of the new voice. Oh! Wow, interesting getup. Wow, that is really odd looking. Hey! Furry gimp superhero. The Baron in black, in his full steampunk getup and holding a cane, stalks into the room. He's wearing an intricate clockwork mask and is otherwise covered head to toe, to the point I can't even tell what species he is. Despite not seeing his face, I can feel him glaring at me. I sink further into the chair. Menesis waves a paw at the Baron dismissively. I turn my face back to the fox. What do you mean by that? Well, you just heard. The bracelet is passed from one person to another, and it is what makes one Templar. I don't know why, or I don't know how or why, but we found it on your wrist. The Baron stands next to Unbound, continuing to glare at me. Why is he sitting here? Before anyone can answer, the final member of the team runs into the room through an entrance on the opposite side. Unlike the rest of his teammates, Super Fang is not wearing his mask, and I can see the tiger's face in full. Oh, Super Fang, okay. Sorry. There was a robbery on the 3rd, so I made a brief detour. Where the hell's your mask? What? We're in HQ. His gaze finds me, and he smiles sheepishly. Whoops. The tiger seems familiar. Wait, Vince Morelli? Everyone is staring at me now. Super Fang, Vince, blinks several times. Do we know each other? Yeah, we went to the same high school. I was a sophomore when you graduated. Baron in black buries his mask in his palm, then looks at Super Fang. God fucking damn it. Great job, champ. That's just what we needed. A high school reunion. The tiger looks mortified as he shuffles over to take his seat. By the way he keeps peeking at me, I can tell that he doesn't remember me. I'm not that unmemorable, am I? Anyway, I thought I instructed Gil to have him... The Baron waves a paw in my direction. Locked up. What gives? I decided it'd be expedient if we heard what happened from him directly right here. I'm confident that he does not present a threat. I sure don't, especially with how small I'm feeling at the moment. I wish the Baron would stop glaring at me. Knowing an actual superhero dislikes me for no reason I can comprehend right now is making me agitated. How do you have the bracelet? I glance down at the metal band. I have no idea how it ended up on my wrist. I think Templar gave it to me. The Baron snorts. Now why in the fuck would he do that? Unbound raises her paw to silence him. Nick, can you tell us what happened before you found yourself here? In detail, please. I bite my lip before nodding. I tell them everything. How we drove to Magnolia Hills, Luke's decision to film on the top floor of the abandoned construction, how we saw 2 figures flying at us, the fight, the smashed staircase, my attempt to distract the superpowered assailant, the way Templar drove him off before collapsing, our brief conversation. He then asked me to promise to use it well, and then... I think for a moment, trying to collect my thoughts. There was this burning in my wrist, and then I was on the floor. It's all very blurry. That's when I passed out. There's a long silence after I finish speaking. Unbound exchanges a look with the Baron that I can't quite read, while Super Fang and Menesis both stare down at me. They stare down at the table. I look at the tiger. Seems like he slipped his mask back on while nobody was paying attention. It's kind of adorable and would have me chuckling in other circumstances. The friend I mentioned, Lucas, do you know if he made it out fine? It's Menesis who responds. He was fine. We exchanged a few words after Super Fang took you and Templar away. Relief washes over me. Gil mentioned there were no casualties, but that could have meant any number of things. There's another long silence. The Baron is the first to speak up. This is all bullshit. Why would he give his powers to you? Templar has a son, for fuck's sake. He has a daughter, too, you know. Right. Regardless, why would he give the bracelet to some rando? I hug my shoulders and look down. It's a pretty good question. one I don't have an answer to. And frankly, part of me thinks this is some kind of a joke. It's obvious the others don't have a retort either. Besides, why the fuck would we believe any of what he said is true? For all we know, he attacked Templar and took the bracelet by force. It didn't look like it to me, Superfang almost says in a whisper, not quite meeting his teammate's eyes. You know the boy wouldn't be wearing it if the artifact didn't consider him worthy. The fact is, the bracelet is on Nick, and despite our best efforts, we have been unable to remove it. It makes sense that they would try that, I suppose, but the thought still makes me uncomfortable for some reason. Maybe he needs to do it himself, so I will ask nicely. Hand over the bracelet. I just sit there, unable to articulate a single thought. Templar said to use it well. It's obvious now he meant this bracelet, his powers. But I'm no superhero. What the hell am I even doing? Can you take it off, Nick? I place a paw on the band. It's slightly warm to the touch. Yeah, I'll try to take it off. Go back. Okay. I try to slide a finger into the bracelet, but it's wound so tight around my wrist that I can't. The metal is very thin, and it's hard to get any kind of grip. I turn my wrist, examining it from all angles. There's no point where two sides connect. It's like the bracelet is one single piece. I try sliding it down, but my paw is far too large to fit through. The Baron huffs impatiently. Ugh, useless. Just let me... That's enough, Baron. Unbound turns to him, her tone calm but firm. I would think you, of all people, would respect Templar's wishes. The Baron rounds on the bear, his mask glinting menacingly. I respect his legacy, and I know his most prized possession shouldn't fall to a fucking high schooler. I'm in college. That earns me another glare from the Baron and a chuckle from Menesis. I think it's clear, at least, that we can't remove the bracelet against Nick's wishes. We can still chop off his arm. I recoil, clutching said arm as if I'm about to be strapped to an operating table. Menesis growls. I'm joking, you fucking people. The Baron glances over at Superfang, who's been very quiet so far. Care to weigh in, champ? The tiger shakes his head. The look on his face is that of a cub watching his parents argue. The Baron snorts again. So, what now? We welcome the new Templar into our ranks? Throw a little party, balloons, cake? I gape at him. I'm not Templar. No shit. I can't be a superhero. Baron lifts a paw in a see what I'm talking about gesture. I can't deal with this right now. I need to speak with Sarah about the funeral arrangements. How about you knuckleheads call me when you've managed to dislodge your muzzles from your asses? With that, the Baron leaves the room faster than any of his teammates can object. Menesis next to me rubs his eyes. Sorry about Nick. The Baron is not taking Templar's death well. I can certainly see that. He was joking, right? About my arm? Yeah? Wow. The tiger doesn't sound nearly as confident as I would have liked. I hug my arm again. Menesis glances between me and Superfang. You two really know each other? Yeah, from Greenville High. There's a look of recognition in the tiger's eyes. Oh, Nick Sanders, right? Saunders. Superfang gives me a toothy grin. Yep, I remember you now. You were that scrawny raccoon from Drama Club. That's me, alright. I wasn't that scrawny, though, I think. Actually, Vince himself has bulked up a lot since high school. He must be twice as wide as he was his senior year. It's all muscle, too. I wonder if he was already superpowered back then. God, it's surreal to sit here with a guy I used to go to school with, who, turns out, is one of the most popular superheroes out there. So, how long ago did this happen to you? His smile widens. Freshman year in college. Crazy, right? You've no idea. There's a brief silence after that. I try not to stare too hard at any of the superheroes around me. Unbound, who has been gazing after the Baron this whole time, lost in thought, turns to me. Nick, I understand this is a lot to process. Templar was an integral part of our team, and his loss will be felt for years to come. I do not expect you to replace him. To be honest, I don't think you can. But it appears that fate has conspired to place this responsibility on your shoulders, and I need to know what you intend to do with it. I squirm under her intense scrutiny. I don't think I have a choice, do I? You absolutely do. Not truly, no. Menesis and Unbound speak in unison, then exchange frowns at their wildly different responses. Vince, meanwhile, regards me with curious eyes. I take a shuddering breath. I'll need some time to think about it, I suppose. Unbound nods and waves her paw around. You should linger here for now, to recuperate and to ensure your safety. We don't know if the one who killed Templar might come looking for you. Gil, was Nick's phone intact? It was. Gil's synthetic voice replies, I had forgotten about its presence. Then I suggest you call your loved ones and assure them that you are safe. Of course, they cannot know the truth of any of this. You are officially at the St. George Memorial Hospital. Is that correct, Gil? It is, Unbound. I nod to everything the bear is saying. As antagonistic as the Baron had been, Unbound's intense, piercing gaze has left me more unnerved. I feel a paw land on my shoulder. I'm here if you want to talk about all this. I'm going to be around, too. Just ask Gil to let us know if you want to chat. Thanks. I realize Unbound intends to guide me back to that medical room, so I rise from the chair to follow. Menesis and Superfang start talking about something I can't quite make out as we leave the room. Alright guys, I'm going to pause it right there. Aw man, we got to meet the League of Superheroes or whatever it's called. Yeah, that was really cool. I'm really enjoying this. This is awesome. I love the character designs, the costumes are great. Oh man, I can't wait to delve more into this. But anyway guys, this has been another episode of Supernova. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and leave a super thanks if you can. It always helps. And until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!